Hi, my friends. Welcome to Sort of Brilliant, a show where the characters are made up and the sorting absolutely does matter. My name is Rachel.
And I'm her best friend and co-host, Lauren. Every other week, we're going to invade a fandom and determine whether your favorite character belongs in Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin.
We're the Harry Potter podcast that talks way more about any other franchise.
Here, we use the sorting structure from Harry Potter as a common language without supporting the author or her beliefs. As for the sorting itself, there's bound to be some arguments along the way.
But in the end, we're always right.
According to us.
According to us. Do they have theme music? Like Spider-Man? That's the Tobey Maguire at the airport sound.
When he's at the museum. He's like,
and he just knows. He's like, he's scary.
He's got that Spidey sense. I'm sure
I hope
that
he comes back.
I know that Carol does have a theme song. I don't remember it though.
I just don't know how to intro them without some sort of music.
Women.
Welcome back to Sort of Brilliant.
It's the year of women.
It's the year of Barbie and Taylor Swift and the Marvels. Oh yeah, which is what we are covering today. Hi, hello, thank you for joining us. We were just sitting here recapping and talking about their houses and how, you know, I flipped them all.
Breaking news, Pedro Pascal has been cast in Fantastic Four. Rachel and I didn't talk about that, but I felt like I should mention it.
I was just speaking to my husband about it, and he was like, man, he's just going to be all stretchy. And I'm like, yeah, that's what that is. Yep. He's like, it's not a cool character. It's not cool enough for Pedro Pascal.
Oh my God. You weren't on Twitter, so you didn't see, but I tweeted, make Ryan Gosling, Johnny Storm, give them all to me.
Your fan casts are crazy.
Give me all.
Gosh. They will forever be, like, in my head, it's just the Jessica Alba movies. Movie. Like, that's the casting that I see in my brain.
That was good casting.
It really was. So I'm very interested. I think, obviously, Pedro's good for anything. Like, what the fuck is he going to do wrong?
And, like, I was mad that they weren't doing John Krasinski, but now I guess I'm okay with it.
I didn't like him for it. I don't know why.
Huh.
No, I didn't mind Wanda.
Anyway, we were like
him.
women and immediately started talking about men. Gross. But it's for the women. So
I talked about Jessica Alba.
Yeah, you did.
But for the Marvels, I have to say, like, in terms of the recent Marvel movies that came out, this and The Last Guardians are the two that I've enjoyed the most.
I'm glad you liked it. I loved this movie.
I really enjoyed it. It doesn't deserve the backlash it got. Like, I'm going to just admit, as much as I like Ant-Man and as much as I liked...
discovered that we loved Scott Lang.
Love that, right? I didn't... The movie wasn't as great as it could have been. To me, anyway. I was, like, bored in a lot of parts of it, which could be my own brain. But for, like, this movie, I wasn't bored at all. It was extremely
deeply connected to, like, overall storyline. You really had to be paying attention.
Yeah, which is hard for me.
I know.
But in this one, I didn't feel like I had to fight my own brain to watch and, like, stay engaged with it. I was really interested. They were very funny together. It was a great, like, ensemble casting.
Whoever choreographed and shot, like, the multiple scenes where they're, like, switching, those were so cool. I was just watching them, like, my brain was extremely happy. I was just like, yeah.
Oh, I was getting really pissed off. I mean, it looked amazing, but I was like, if I were in this, I would be fucking screaming. Like, I would have hated that happening to me. That was horrendous. So kudos to them, because it couldn't be me. Holy shit. I was like, the first scream Kamala does, like, just the first one scream was in the trailer. It's so good. Like, that would have been the entire time, the whole time. And they just got with it and like continuously kicked ass. So good for them. I have no superhero training. But it was just a good movie, like, plot wise and everything. And I thought a lot of it was really, really fun. And none of it felt forced. Like, you hear a lot of fanboys being like, girl movie. Like,
so
it's
woke.
Not. It wasn't, though.
Not at all. It's a movie about women.
It was just a generally good movie. Yeah. Like, okay, it's about women, right? But it didn't feel like
it wasn't even
girl power, like stereotypical
it wasn't
bullshit.
Even like
it was good.
Barbie was.
It wasn't even that.
No, it wasn't. It was just a movie about women. Like, women were the main characters. That was the movie.
They just happened to be gals.
That was the movie.
But they were great because all their personalities are drastically different. And there's like age differences, right? Like Kamala's like the young one. And then you have like the two grown women. And they have their own whole fucking thing going on. They have a past and like haven't seen each other in however long. It was just cool. Like, it was a lot going on. I love Kamala's family. So I was really happy they were in a lot of this. Like they're my favorite. So I just liked, like, I had a good time watching. And the shit with the cats was so funny.
Yeah, it was.
I love the cats.
Playing the Cats theme song when they were all coming out.
Are they what are they called?
Flurkins.
Cute. I love them. I want one. They're really fucking cute. Me and Fury. I can tell Fury loves them as much as I do.
They took his eye and he loves them.
I know, like, worth it. So I enjoyed it. I think any like low numbers is because Marvel's oversaturated fucking everything. People are like tired of Marvel stuff, but also there was a strike.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody even
promote
knew
this.
Me and George thought this was a straight to Disney Plus thing forever.
Oh, like, really?
And if we thought that, everyone probably didn't realize it either. Like, I didn't know this was coming out in theaters. It was like a whole big thing. I had no fucking idea. You kept saying it to me, and I was like,
I did.
Oh yeah, that's a thing that's going to come up. But I just thought it was a Disney Plus movie. I had no idea.
Wild. They changed the date on this movie like 5 times too. It was supposed to come out in July, and it like that was the date forever. And then they dropped the poster, and the poster said November on it, but they didn't officially say date changed to November. They were just like, here's the poster that says a different date than what we've been saying.
Yeah, they dropped the fucking ball. Huge. I'm telling you, because I really do. Like, I love previews and trailers and shit. Like, I'm so psyched for the Avatar live action. Like, I love when a trailer drops for something. And I feel like I didn't even see a trailer for this.
Yeah.
Like, fucking nothing. Like, this should have been in the Barbie movie trailers.
It was. It
for
was
sure.
For me.
It wasn't for me.
It was for the Eras Tour movie, too. I saw it.
That one, it might have been, yeah. But for the longest time, I just didn't think it was coming to the big screen. I mean, over the summer, it was more obvious. I just listened to you and what you were saying. But you can't advertise to the world. So they fucked up. And I think people are just like, have been annoyed at Marvel for a while. So it's through no fault of the plot, the acting, the characters, nothing like that. This is executive overlords. This is their issue. Because it was a good movie. Like, I'll tell you if I don't like it. Y'all know how I am about superhero shit. I liked this a lot. So it also helps that, spoiler alert, they're in 3 different houses because I love shit like that. I love that. I love when we don't have a repeat house. They're all different and like, because I fucking love a good ensemble cast. I love that shit. Very, very enjoyable. So yeah, we both liked it. I'm sure.
Loved it.
Lauren more than me.
Freaked the fuck out when I saw Kate Bishop. Freaked the fuck out when I saw Beast. And so I had to look up who Monica, who alternate universe Monica's mom was, because I didn't know. And I forget what her name is now, but from what the internet told me, she's a Carol Danvers variant that was in the X-Men. So they said it in the movie, right? In the memory that Carol had with her, she was like, it should have been you because I cheated on that race, and you should have been the one who got the superpowers and not be dying of cancer. So I'm like, oh, in the X-Men universe, she is the one who won the race. And so she never had her kid. And she's a superhero or an X-Men, whatever.
It's a soap opera levels of drama.
Isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Very excited. We had to, Hannah afterwards was like, so there's a difference between alternate universes and the timeline branches. And I was like, yes, that is what Marvel is trying to say, even though I'm not sure that everybody's going to grasp it or that you even really need to understand it. So like
I can tell you don't need to understand it.
No, it seems very confusing to me. If I understand what Marvel is saying, which is that there's the sacred timeline, and if you make a different decision than you're supposed to, and branch off, that creates separate timelines off the sacred timeline, but that's all one universe. So in Multiverse of Madness with the 3 Peters, they were all different branches off of the same timeline. And then an alternate universe, supposedly, where Monica ended up, is a separate sacred timeline that runs parallel to ours. So they never touch, but they each have their own main timelines and then branches off, like multiverses. So when Monica got stuck in the alternate universe, I like was joking and was like, time to get America because she can go get her back.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, oh no, she can't because America travels through multiverses, I think, not alternate universes. Nobody needs to understand any of that.
Is it said that she doesn't go through multiverse?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't pay enough attention because I didn't know at the time that Marvel was making
America?
a distinction.
No, we were waiting.
No, yeah, I didn't know that Marvel was making a distinction between, because I and everybody else assumed that Deadpool was gonna. They were in a multiverse, and Deadpool was gonna break through with X-Men. But now, since they've shot Monica through a hole in time and space and like specified this is an alternate universe, I guess that's what it is. So I don't know.
I'm gonna go with whatever explanation
that I just totally made up based on my understanding of the fake science.
It's better than mine, which is weird shit going on here. I really have nothing further.
The people I enjoy will be showing up and hanging out together.
Somehow. So. Palpatine returned. So
you delivered that better than Oscar.
Thanks. Listen, I'm confused by a lot of stuff, and I also don't keep up with the shows. Like, my husband watches them all because he's like a completionist.
Did you watch the second season of Loki? Like the finale came out on Thursday. Okay, that was like that was the big thing that you needed to know. He's the god of stories now. Yeah,
he's fucking Slytherin. Do it for all of you.
He gets to sit there on his throne and just watch everybody doing their shit and like control it. Of course, he loves that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like low-key sad though.
It is. It's very sad. He's separated from.
He'll probably get out of there.
He is gonna get out of there because the director, whoever, was like, it's always been my intention that he'll meet up with Thor again. So. Aww. And they just did an interview with Tom Hiddleston where he was like, because they said they're not doing season 3 of Loki. Tom Hiddleston was like, you're all fools if you think you won't see me as Loki again, or something dramatic like that. And then he also did an interview where they were asking him about Thor, and he said he didn't think Thor was ever not on Loki's mind. So it's very cute and sweet.
Cute.
Yeah.
Very cute.
Slytherin Hufflepuff brothers. I know.
Oh, they really are. They were our first Slytherin Hufflepuff duo. They were the basis off which I understood a lot of that kind of in-house relationship. So I thank them for that. It's always a good pairing. So we've got 3 gals to get through today. I sorted them all wrong, apparently. I mean, I get the superhero pass.
You're very close. You do get the superhero pass.
But
still cherish the memory of you sorting Vision into Ravenclaw because you had no idea what was going on.
I couldn't even tell you now what was going on there. It was explained to me thoroughly
by multiple people, right?
By multiple people, yeah. And in my head, when you guys are like explaining it to me in my head, it's like the Charlie Brown teacher. It just goes. I cannot retain it. There's too much science shit going on. I can't. But I did get whether they were logic or emotion houses. Which everyone should have, though. I feel like they're really obvious about that. So,
agreed.
We can start with who started all of this, which is Carol.
Carol
from HR.
Carol Danvers. Who they so creatively renamed Veers because half her name tag got shot off.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? So I didn't get a chance to rewatch the first movie before this, but Lauren's a big Captain Marvel fangirl.
I love
Carol.
Got her
she like remembers all that shit.
Poster hanging up over there.
Yeah. I'll just let you guys know my missort was it's very clear that she's a logic house, okay? I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna have a problem with that.
And I will, in Rachel's defense, say that I thoroughly thought through the option that she thought she was before I was really considering it. So it's not like it was a bad.
It's one of the two, right? Yeah. So I leaned to Ravenclaw, and I explained this to Lauren. It was because she seems very disconnected generally, and not like in a selfish way or a self-centered way where she's just thinking about herself. Because if you've seen any of Carol, you know that's not the case. It's just more like things seem disjointed. Things seem like certain puzzle pieces aren't there, which obviously is part of her story. So that explains why she seems so disconnected from everything, because she kind of is. Like, she doesn't remember everything that happened to her. And her stoicism sometimes read to me like not judgy, but kind of like a little bit spacey. So it was giving me a little bit Phoebe Buffay, which might be because I'm rewatching Friends. I don't know. But I was like, what other characters do I know like this? She's so interesting. She's so unique, kind of like I didn't have anyone to really compare her to. And I was thinking but if she was in Slytherin, like who is a very like stoic, straight-faced Slytherin who just like does what she has to do? Oh, Natasha. But like Natasha and Captain Marvel are totally different personality. But like to me, I don't see too much in common personality-wise. But there are some things. So listen, I didn't have the source material, okay? So you can't blame me for that. Just going off of this movie, I was like, oh, she's kind of like
the source material.
I didn't rewatch it.
Okay, all right.
I didn't
specify
it,
for
so
everyone.
I didn't have it in my hands. Yeah,
it's
I watched
available
it
on Disney Plus.
Personally, I watched it when it came out. I went in theaters to see it, and then I watched it on one rewatch. Yeah,
yes, we did.
So
we
I've
saw
seen
it
twice, but it's been years now. So I was watching this, and I was like, oh, she's kind of like kooky and spacey and fun, and like she does her own thing. I'm going to put her in Ravenclaw. But then, Lauren will tell you why I'm wrong.
Lauren, explain. I am positive. I think she's a Slytherin. And there are many, many reasons for it. And I like, to Rachel's credit, I think the first movie does a better job of showing why how she's a Slytherin. Just because it's when it's before she knows that she's really she knows that she doesn't have memories past like 5 years ago or whatever, but she's not, it's not weird to her. She's just like, okay. Now she knows that it's weird, and she's been watching her memories, but she's not connecting emotionally with them. She still doesn't like feel them or actually remember them. It's like she's watching a movie of somebody else. So I had her in Slytherin because basically first of all, because of that, where she is like unbothered by the fact that she doesn't remember anything. She wakes up getting a blood transfusion from the Kree, and the Kree like tell her that she's one of them and she's been in an accident and that they're in this war against the Skrull. And the Skrull are evil and blah, 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 blah. And she's just like, okay, cool. Like, one of the things I've always said about Slytherins is that they're very, very good with like rolling with it and like learning as they go. Like, they don't need all of the information before acting. They're cool with like learning that information through their actions. So she's like, cool. And she like is fully Kree. She's like fighting with them. She's like doing this shit. And then she gets kidnapped by the Skrull, and they are sorting through her memories because her mentor was a Kree who defected and stole the Tesseract because she learned that the war against the Skrull was like unjustified and fake or whatever. So Carol sees some of her old memories because the Skrulls start picking through them, and that's the point where she's like, what the fuck? And it's like, now I want to know everything about myself. So that like starts.
It's a little bit too, you guys have the listening to your superior thing. It's a little Hufflepuff almost with how you'll just roll with it.
Well,
and be
she's like,
okay,
yeah, she's like, this is the situation I'm currently in. So like,
well, I also think
go.
she's taking those personally, just from what I remember. I think she's also taking that from a Ravenclaw. I do think, from what I remember, thinking that guy was Ravenclaw, and just the fact he can't not play Ravenclaw, apparently.
And he's like training her, so she's like, she's trying to, because she has these powers that she woke up with that she didn't have before, but she doesn't know that. So he's like trying to train her to control them, and she has no control over them. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's one of those things where, I can't understand that. I think, like, just on a kind of personal level, like, I can't, I really need you to give me more than just, like, this is what we're doing. Roll with it. Like, no. Why?
Yeah, and that's why we don't need the information to start, because we'll learn the information as we go. Or it's like, what is it going to do if I, like, dig my feet in and stand here? Like, we're going to sit here arguing forever. Like, I'll learn a lot more just, like, going with it and pretending that I'm chill with all this shit. Or, like, actually being chill with it and then, like, deciding to change my mind later, which is what she does, right? When the Skrull are like, there are her memories, she's like, what the fuck? She starts asking, I don't remember the name of fucking Jude Law's character. She starts asking him questions, and he's like, yeah, like, Skrull are playing tricks on you. Like, go down to Earth and go get them because they're infiltrating. So she does. And she's very, I think she's very Slytherin about the whole thing. She's very goal-oriented. She's like, I'm here to get rid of the Skrull. They're infiltrating your planet. Nick Fury meets up with her, and it's the first alien he's ever met, and she's just like, this is my identification, this is what I'm doing, this is what I need help with, like, let's go. And Nick, to his credit, is like, all right, let's go. So
yeah, as you're reminding me of the first movie, I'm
Are you getting it more?
some of it back?
Are you getting it more? Yeah. So she's
much more fucking weirdly. I feel like I had more of her actual personality in the first movie than in this. In this movie, she's dealing with stuff. Like problems are being thrown and she's just handling it. And to be fair, there's this Slytherin Ravenclaw overlap with strategy and with problem solving, certainly. So I wasn't able to distinguish between them just because she was like super confusing me. But in the first one, even though she doesn't have like her actual, like the actual truth.
That's what I'm saying.
You're still seeing her personality.
Yeah, she's purely herself because she's not dealing with any conflict. Like, even though she doesn't have her memories, she's not like, like she just is. Yeah. She's just existing.
That's a better one to start off of for her.
Yeah. And I mean, I think you'll see like it's such a one-off line. But when she is, oh my gosh, now I'm gonna fact check myself because I don't remember her name. What is Monica's mom's name? It also starts with an M.
Damn.
Maria.
Unfortunately.
Maria.
Yeah, I was gonna say, unfortunately, I don't remember the fucking movie.
I know. I can't because they're both M names. I'm like, who? Maria is her best friend. There's like a one-off conversation they have because Maria's trying to remind her like how the accident started. So she's like, we got up early in the morning and then you wanted to race in our cars. And Maria was like, which I was totally fine with because I'll beat your ass any day. She's like, but you cheated. And Carol like is not really remembering, but instantly goes, since when is taking a shortcut cheating? So it's like, it's very Slytherin to me.
Okay, Captain Kirk.
But I mean, so you're right. The first movie is way better to sort her ass. So she's like very goal oriented. She's working with Nick Fury to like get the scroll or whatever. And then when she the scroll shows up at Maria's house and like explains, this is what's happening. We're just refugees trying to find a new planet. Like, we're not infiltrating or fighting anybody. She like, that's really all she needs. Like, him telling her that, and also like proving how Jude Law was a fucking dick or whatever. And then she was like, all right, now I'm going to fight for you guys. And she takes responsibility for the entirety of the scroll, basically. Like, she is in charge of helping like relocate them. She's also like, I'm going to kill the AI that is controlling the Kree and like making them think that they have to be in this war. Right. Because the AI also like tried to control her, which she was like, like she she was in that mind control chamber. They shoved her back in there and she like fought it to get out. And then she was like, and I'm going to stop the entire war to Jude Law. And he's like, you can't do that. She's like, watch me. I was telling Rachel the other like big Slytherin thing for me too is that she has so many moments. The fact, so she is, I think Marvel they said who the smartest is. I don't know that Marvel has come out and officially said who the most powerful person in the MCU is, but it's Carol, at least in my opinion. The fact that she just like can fly through shit and it's fine. Like, in this movie, she just flew through a sun and reignited it. When she was fighting Thanos, she just flew through like 6 of his ships and they all came down. They had to seriously nerf her for her not to be able to beat Thanos because both her and Wanda in the MCU, they basically are Infinity Stones.
Right.
That's another thing that was super Slytherin of her is that she didn't know what her mentor was doing. She didn't know that she was Kree. She didn't know what she was, but she was like, those are the bad guys, shoot them down. And she like immediately gets with it. And then when they land and Jude Law's like, you have to give me the glowy thing. And her mentor's dead. She fucking shoots it. She's just like, she has no idea what's going on, but she's like, you can't have it. And she shoots it. Yeah. Which is how she gets her powers. But yeah, so her and Wanda in the MCU are Infinity Stones. They have taken on, like, she has the Carol has the power of the Tesseract, and Wanda has the Red Stone, which is the reality stone. Yep. So
I think I've heard them say that Wanda's
Carol's
the most
got space
powerful.
Okay,
but I think they're probably just like tied for it because it's exactly what you said. They're literal stone. Like they harness that power.
They are that power. Like they've taken infinite power.
Yeah, you're dealing with people who have like super speed and like strength and like Hulk smash and like big brain like Tony.
Right.
That's completely different fucking playing field than being one of the Stones. Like that's hugely different. And yeah, they don't let Wanda really. They do the same shit where they're like, we have to do something stupid here to let her not fucking kill Thanos. And you're like, we keep stifling women, I guess. But God forbid a woman have hobbies. So they'd probably be good friends.
He had to emotionally damage her.
Help her a lot.
He had to emotionally damage her. Remember,
Ridiculous.
He had to be like, "Who are you?"
Ridiculous. She would have fucking destroyed him. That's absolutely.
They both would have.
It's so stupid.
Carol basically did. She fucking had the fucking gauntlet off of him.
Yeah.
Thor did too.
They gave the Gryffindor the one thing that would like fuck with them, which is like
the emotional damage.
Your emotional damage. Yeah. No, but like they had the whole thing with Vision where she like couldn't. Ooh, that was bad.
Oh yeah.
That was really bad.
He died. Yeah, he
really
just fucking pulled the stone out of his head and he fucking went gray and
then they drove her insane.
Yep.
They drove her to insanity.
Yep.
But you know she did nothing wrong. So, but getting back to Carol,
under a building now, it's fine.
They just the whole time. If you guys remember, I think it was Infinity War where they're like, why was Wanda up there that whole fucking time? Like she could have taken everything out. That's like the viewer about Carol, like all the time.
Oh yeah,
like, she would just.
Well, no, they literally,
like, this is stupid.
They literally are always like, oh, she's off in space. To be like, why can't Carol
cast
help?
her?
Yeah.
They Castiel her.
Yes.
She's on a boat somewhere gambling, riverboat gambling. Yep. Ridiculous. But yeah, no, I'm fully on board with the Slytherin thing, especially because now I'm downloading memories of the first movie. I'm like, oh yeah, she had a personality that was all like that. I remember now.
Yes, and she did remember.
She's a lefty too. She's a lefty Slytherin.
Yes, and when she so the one other big thing that I said to Rachel about that first movie is like the whole thing with Jude Law is like you have to control yourself and be able to like fight without your powers, like be strong without them. And he was like, if you can beat me in hand-to-hand combat, one-on-one, then we'll know you're truly And she fucking shoots him with her powers. She's like, I don't have to prove anything to you, bitch. Like, what do you mean?
I have to prove shit to
like,
someone who cheats on his wife.
Powers. Yeah, exactly. And the thing that gets her stuck out of the AI is that she was remembering her moments as a child, as a woman, as a girl. Yes.
I remember now.
Where she gets knocked down. Yeah, she got knocked down again and again, and she would have to get up on her own. So, yeah, that's hugely Slytherin to me, that was the thing that, like, broke her out of it. That she was like, I have to keep fucking getting up for all these fucking... And I have to keep doing it by myself.
That's the type of shit where I'm like... where you can understand why Slytherins and Gryffindors make such good friends, because that is a very like fucking stop. It's so annoying. Like, why? God, everyone else is so fucking stupid.
Wouldn't even do anything.
It wasn't even doing anything. So yeah, she's total. Oh man, yeah, totally a Slytherin.
Yeah, but we now let's get into the second movie because Rachel saw that. The recent memories.
the recent ones, yeah. The big thing would have to be how she handled, and I was just talking to Lauren about it, it's how she handled the whole thing with Monica, where the lunacy of why she didn't come back.
The fact that also, like, too, like, she sees her for the first time after, like, what, a decade? More than that, like 20 years probably, and is like, hey, Lieutenant Trouble. And Monica's like, no.
Ridiculous.
No.
Fucking
she's like,
ridiculous.
I'll relate to you in the way I did when you were 9.
Oh my god, it's like the girl from fucking Ted Lasso.
Yeah, Rebecca.
With her goddaughter, yeah. Like, you missed like 10 of the birthdays. Like, oh, she doesn't want the doll anymore. Oh my god, yeah, you guys are like, it's so, this is one of those things where I was like, oh, it's probably a Ravenclaw because the social cue just like, Slytherins do that too, so often.
Yeah, they do.
So often.
And it's like, and it wasn't like, not really like the social cue. She was just like, this worked last time, and I don't have any new data. So like,
that's a social thing.
Okay, fine. She's like, this worked last time, basically, because when Nick Fury like tricked them and tried to connect them over the comms, Carol was like, I want to talk to like, is that Monica? I want to talk. And Monica's like, no, take me off the comms.
Dude, that's so unhinged that she's like, let me just like chat with the girl. What do you mean? What do you mean?
She doesn't have to see her. Like, if anything goes wrong, we can just fly off. Yeah.
Also, everything with Kamala, with her, like, their relationship is very,
very cute.
She's very Slytherin about it.
Yes. I was going to say, I think that's a big, indicator for me too of Slytherin versus Ravenclaw, because I think a Ravenclaw would have been much more uncomfortable with that level of
look at Clint.
idolization. Yes, Clint. Yeah. Carol was like, oh, okay, I'll take this on. Like she saw that girl's room and was still okay with her.
Fucking room, man. I'll speak about it later, but the room is one of the reasons I fought against Kamala's house. I didn't want it to be a certain one. I was like, oh my fucking God.
You know it is.
Yeah, but Carol's like, really, it's funny. She does what I imagine Taylor Swift would do.
Because she,
her
on
eyes
some
get
level,
really wide, and she's like, okay.
Feels like she deserves it, right? She's like, all right. I don't remember, Rachel, if I said this to you out loud or if I was just like, I should just text this to Rachel, and I never fucking did. But I have been watching Taylor lately where people like freak out over her, and she like,
wow, thanks.
Yeah, she's like,
you're amazing.
Yeah, you're right. Like, I am great, but also like, thanks for saying it. But
yeah, okay, so this
she doesn't deflect it, but she is also like,
yeah.
And I did tell you about this because it's kind of like how I feel about opening presents, where I'm like, I really genuinely feel good about this and I want to express to you that I am thankful, but I worry that I know I need to be thankful so much that now it sounds fake when I'm doing it, which is why we kind of shut down and are like bare minimum about it. Because I was like, it don't want to sound too fake. So
I think you guys get very, very in your head about like how we talked about this, how you're perceived. And I think one of the most brilliant things Taylor did was make the most iconic music video of all time with For Look What You Made Me Do. And she has herself talking to other versions of herself being like, stop playing the victim. It's so annoying. Like, you can't possibly be that surprised all the time. You look stupid. Like, and I just imagine that's just, I mean, I don't have to imagine, that's the inside of her head. So I think Carol and her must be very close because I got a lot of Taylory vibes. And it's funny because Taylor sometimes also reminds me of Phoebe Buffay. I'm sorry. I think they must be like, maybe it's one of those things where like if you flip it like with Hook, you know, like the inverse, like you can only be one other house. I don't know. But all of these girls just, it's like something about a woman being in her power and like knowing how powerful she is and being like, well, maybe I should stifle it a little bit, but not really. Like, no. I'm not going to.
Well, Rachel, I don't remember if she said it while we were recording, but Rachel was having the same problem with Carol that she was having with Kate. And I think Kate is a really good example of that, too, where Kate was like, yeah, I trained to be the fucking best archer, and I am the best archer, and I can take over for Hawkeye. And she's just really confident in it. And if her showing up at the end of the movie with Kamala being like, I want you to be on my super team. Kate's like, yeah, duh, obviously. Like, she's not.
That's so Phoebe Buffay too. Like, that's why I keep bringing Phoebe up, because Phoebe, like, they'll be like, oh, you're such a beautiful woman. And she's like, yeah, obviously. Yes, I know. It's just these girls remind me of each other. I think it's just a powerful girl thing.
Yes.
I think it's just like a knowing what you're worth thing. And I guess the logic houses are probably best at it. There's less self-depreciation like that you don't see, right? I'm sure in your heads it's in a fucking mess, but you don't show it outside.
But outwardly, and especially like in relation to other people. Like, we have a lot more self-depreciation when it's our own selves doing the work. Like, other people were like, yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Like, you got me.
Yeah. It's always nice to have a deeper understanding of Slytherin women.
Thank you.
It's an interesting breed.
I
mean, like, you're so much funnier than the Slytherin men.
We are.
Like,
I agree.
The Slytherin men are truly fucking crazy.
Rachel and I did some math on all of our sorting lately, and by far the most women that we have sorted, the most women are in Slytherin. By far, much more than the men. And so media clearly sees that they're like, Slytherin women are great.
I think, well, yeah, because it's typically a woman or a girl who knows that they're like worth shit, you know? Like, you don't always want to see someone fuck shitting around like, oh, I just suck. Like, I fucking hate my, no, be in your power. It's the year of Barbie. Come on.
It is the year of Barbie.
A Ravenclaw. So it's like the year of logic women, I think. if I had to
finally come into our own.
Yeah,
I will. So I just two other things that I'll say about this movie too, where I was like, Carol's a Slytherin. Well, just the fact that she's sitting around alone every day with that machine on her head, trying to remember herself. Like the fact that she's just silently doing it. She's not complaining. She's not like, I don't know who I am. She's just like trying to figure herself out. That she married that prince on Aladdin. It reminded me of Aladdin.
He was hot.
Yes, he was. He was a K-drama star, which I did not know. I thought he was K-pop because he came out on screen and the 215 girls next to me lost their fucking shit. So I thought he was K-pop, but we looked him up and he's so funny. Me and George were like,
he's got to be famous for something. Yes. Like, first of all, he's really talented. Second of all, he's really hot.
The two 15-year-old girls sitting next to me, he came on screen and they went, I was like,
I love that for them. I love that for them.
So,
go off, girls.
Yes.
He was cute.
Yeah, right? So she was like, I didn't tell you I was a princess because I knew you were going to make fun of me. And she was like, we did this for like purely political reasons because she's out here saving planets. That's what she does, right? And she was like, it was beneficial to both of us. Like it helped the planet and, you know, it helps me because now I have like political connections or whatever. Oh, that's something I can say about Monica too, how she acted on that planet. But then she was like, their culture is like singing. That's how they talk to each other. And you would think that Carol wouldn't jive, like she would not partake in that. But she fucking changed into a ball gown. She's like, yeah, I'm their queen. I gotta sing. So
that was so funny.
It was a great scene.
I really liked her in this. I just thought this was a good movie, guys. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know.
I did too. The fact that she was like, in her memory to Maria, she was like, I'll only watch the cat until you get back. Like, you're going to get back. You're going to be fine. The fact that she was like lamenting that Maria shouldn't have been sick because if she hadn't cheated, then Maria would have made it to the spacecraft first and she would have been the one on the flight. The fact that she felt like she couldn't come back to Monica because she had like fucked up the Kree by exploding the AI, which was another Slytherin thing that she just showed up and like blasted the AI and then was like, figure yourselves out. Like, you don't need me. Yeah. And they went into a civil war and then she was like, the entire civil war is my fault and I can't come back. I'm not worthy of like being your aunt or coming back to you until like I fix things. So she's just going around the universe like fixing planets, I guess.
That in itself is the other thing that I was thinking, like, while you were going through everything. When you see her in other, like, ensemble Marvel movies where they're like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm fucking...
Everything.
You're not the only planet.
Everything.
Like, I have so much other shit to be doing.
Do you remember that she's in the end credits of Shang-Chi because they're asking her about the rings or whatever? Yeah, so Bruce... has to call her up and be like, what are these? And she's like, I'm a little busy, but I'll let you know.
Always busy. And but she's not like I delivered those lines way sassier than she does. No, like she's not
just matter of fact about it. She's like
extremely like I'm saving other planets.
Yeah, I was telling Rachel like her friendship with Nick Fury is very cute and very like special. But even in this movie, she was like, Nick, I'm busy. Like, why did you bring me to your fucking ship? Yeah. And he's like, and she's like, you can call me if you really need me, but don't bother me. Like, I'm not
right. But you could like we've seen probably every house represented in Marvel in like under extreme stress where they're like responsible for something really, really heavy. So like you contrast her with Tony, for example. Tony's coming back with like a quip, like, what are you doing with your thumb up your ass? Like he's not going to just like take that. And she's just like saving people. Yeah. Constantly. Yep. It's like a really, really Slytherin delivery of it. So yeah, this was a great movie and I enjoyed it. But I will say, like, as far as sorting goes, everything else I've seen her in, I now have like is way more Slytherin to me than like
seriously. The fact they call her to go get Tony from space, remember? And she just like goes up and gets him and brings him back down. She's like, what?
And she's like
and then she's like, okay, I gotta go again.
He's having an emotional crisis. She's like, bye.
He's like, anyway, I got other shit to do.
He's like, get me a fucking IV and someone to scream at and blame. Oh my God.
No, but that's why Steve, as the Slytherin, works so well for him. Because Carol would have just stood there and been like, yeah, you're welcome. All right, bye. Steve was like trying to make excuses for himself.
Man, he's surrounded by fucking Slytherin.
That was the other little sneaky thing that she did too when they were all connected with the mind thing because they were trying to remember the star map or whatever. And she started remembering Monica's mom. And Monica was like, stop. Carol, stop. And Carol was like, I can't. I'm like, sorry.
Yeah, what do you want me to do?
You're going to see it. You're going to see it and feel the emotions.
She's also not like constantly bawling over her friend. And like, she is obviously extremely affected by it.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously extremely affected. But she's not sobbing about it. Like, it doesn't deter her from what she needs to do. It's just like what a Slytherin does with that kind of grief is just like it fits in a spot and you move with it. Like, it doesn't take over everything. You have to keep going with it. But I think she's constantly feeling it.
And then, you know, Monica at the end, too, when she was like, I was never going to leave. Like, I was always going to be stuck here. And she's like, the fuck you are. And like, she shot out of there to try to get her. And Monica clearly didn't tell her that was going to happen because she knew that Carol would be the one to be like, no, I'm going to do this part. So we're going to see her again because there's no way that she isn't going to be trying to get Monica back. Even though at the end of the movie, she was like, again, like with Maria, she was very much like handling it and like, I gotta stay cool for Kamala because Kamala's gonna freak the fuck out. And actually, I'm just remembering too, Rachel and I didn't even fucking talk about this. But they gave us the most lesbian that they're gonna give us with the original Marvel characters. Because Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie showed up, and they're clearly very good friends. Very good friends, and have been talking this whole time, even though, and you know, I fully think that is a product of fandom.
They're also friends in real life, right? Like,
yes,
they're close.
Yeah. But I fully think that's a product of like fandom wanting those two together because there's no other,
dude,
right? Because there's no other.
It's about fucking time.
Like the only other time they like met is in Infinity War when you just see all the women together. You don't even see them interact. And then she's like, I have a friend who can help you get to another planet. And fucking Valkyrie shows up, and it's like, okay,
wink wonk.
Okay. So
yeah, that's great. Well,
it was
hopefully
great.
We see more of that.
It was great. And it was also a very Slytherin friendship too, where she's like just keeping quiet about it and she's just like chill and she's like, thanks for coming and helping me. And
I don't need to reveal these things to you.
Right.
They will reveal themselves or they won't. Like, I don't need it. Why do I have to tell you everything?
If it's your business, you'll see it. So
you little weirdos. Where did you put the fuck is her name? In the movie you chose to she's the man.
Olivia the blonde or Viola, the main character?
Viola. Where did you put her on the scale?
Viola. She's like the right side.
Interesting. Okay.
Do you not think? I don't know if
you all have a little bit of her in you, but whatever.
All of us have Viola. Viola.
If I think about it long enough, okay, if I think about where Taylor Swift is, and then I think about Taylor Swift's current relationship, which is just she's the man coded, I have to skirt Viola down a little bit more towards you people. Because it's the same thing. We just sorted she's the man, and then I'm watching it happen in front of me. In real time.
Okay.
With Taylor and Travis Kelce.
I'm Viola, and I like cheese.
20 minutes later.
We suffered some technical difficulties at a point where only I was speaking and explaining. Okay, I suffered some technical difficulties at a point where only I was speaking. So let's see if I can recreate all of that. I was trying to explain that I put Monica in Ravenclaw. I'm sorry. I put Monica in Slytherin because naturally good at everything, figures her shit out, does what she has to do. Also, the way that she confronted Carol was very matter of fact and very like, what the fuck? Like, and I think I didn't mention this in the OG recording, but I got like very Amy Pond with the doctor from it. Lauren pointed out like, I don't think she like sat around and literally waited. Amy Pond didn't literally, she did that for one night.
No,
and then
but
like
she was like, her entire life was like being pissed about it, right? Like that, that was it.
But you don't think Monica was?
I don't think she's pissed about it. I think she's just like, why? Like, what was the reason? And I told Rachel too, it wasn't Amy Pond was like, I fucking needed you. Like, you said you would be back right away and you weren't. And I needed you. I was a little kid who needed you. Monica's like, I didn't need you here. I'm fine. But I wanted you.
Right.
You know?
Okay. That's a good distinction that I can make. So, I think like Slytherins and Gryffindors have the overlap of taking things really personally, even though like Lauren's house pretends they don't. They do. Just take things really, really personally. And I guess that's a good way of putting it about Monica. She didn't internalize it and make it like, you didn't come back for me. I needed you. Like, she really didn't. She went off and did what the fuck she had to do.
Yeah, she was just like, you're my aunt. Like, why didn't you come back? Like, I love you. You know?
And in case the audio did cut out before from my technical error, we were talking about her possible system. And I was saying how it was hard for me to figure out like what it was. I just couldn't see it. And it's again because I can't remember the first movie. But Lauren brought up the scene like when she's a little kid. Immediately she begins like she knows she needs to emulate her mother and her aunt. She knows she wants to, and that's the way through which she sees everything. You see that in other characters.
Yeah, she becomes an astronaut and goes
when you
to
contrast
space.
it with like this happens to Peter Quill.
Mm-hmm.
His mom dies and he goes to space and everything. But I think the difference would be like it was Peter and Monica are very different. Like
also
in
that
what
situation was
be.
like forced upon Peter, whereas like Monica's like, I want to be an astronaut because Auntie Carol is cool as hell, and Mom is cool as hell.
So I always remember how like Lauren makes fun of Gryffindors, but she's like, you take one thing that happened to you and like it's your whole fucking life after that. And that, to be fair, is literally what happens here with Monica. But it's more strategical. Like she's just a straight up like, I want to do that. It's not like Captain Kirk like stealing his stepdad's car and like almost driving it off a fucking cliff and like doing all these like trauma response bullshit things. She just follows a really direct path in her life. And is really good at it. Like, fucking good for her. Because my house can't relate as well. So, but I was never, to be clear, I never thought she was a Gryffindor. It was just one of those things, again, where it's like powerful women who know their worth and like know where they fit and what they're capable of. And it's like, I don't need to water myself down for you. And like, I don't know, man. How so foreign to me personally that I'm flip-flopping their houses. But
so one of the other things that like this is a little thing that was Ravenclaw is when they show up at Kamala's house, and Kamala's like, what does SWORD stand for? Which is the government agency that Monica works for and that her mom helped found. And Monica's like, oh, it stands for, Sentient Weapons Operations. What is it? Sentient Weapon Observation and Response Division. And Fury looks at her. I looked it up. Fury looks at her like, what the fuck? And Monica's like, what was that, like, secret? Like, where you're talking to this girl? Like, I will answer her questions. I don't know. This is very Ravenclaw to me. And actually what Kamala does with, like, when she's like, oh, you have a folder on me? That was very her house.
It was also the moment where they're on that singing planet where they're all
yes, that's what I was going to bring up, where she refuses to take part. And they actually sing about her, like, this lady who isn't smiling. And she's like,
Yeah. She's like, this is fucking ridiculous. But her reaction, I think probably her reaction to Carol is so like, it's one of the things that when I look at it, I did the Amy Pond comparison, but when you just look at it generally, like from a Ravenclaw, it's really, really Ravenclaw. Because it's like, first it's avoidant. Mm-hmm. She really doesn't want to talk to her to begin with.
Right.
It's like
we just never have to do this. It's fine.
Yeah, like I could just continue on.
It's fine. Yeah.
Just keep going. And it's not like there's some like panic and anxiety in it and like not wanting to do it. But it's also, I really think she would be okay without it. Like, I don't think she needed that for herself. Like, she's made a name for herself fine. She's, like, done it all fine. So, like, where I think an emotion house might, like, need the closure, it might need an explanation, it'd be like, this was extremely important to me that, like, you fucking explain yourself. I think Monica and Ravenclaws in general are like, you did what you did, so...
right.
It's not like you can go back and change it.
And then like Carol explains why she did it. And Monica's like, that's dumb, but I guess you're here now. Like, that's so stupid. She's like, I didn't need like a hero. I needed my Aunt Carol.
Right.
Yeah. And it's very simple to her.
I mean, well, it is simple.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, I get it from Carol's point of view. She complicated
I'm sure you do.
So
yeah. Monica's probably the one that we like, she just doesn't have so much to go, like it's annoying. Like,
yeah,
you get
and we're gonna
so much background on everyone else,
a lot more, obviously. But yeah, Rachel and I were trying to. She's really not in a lot of WandaVision. She's there as somebody who's trapped in Wanda's simulation to begin with. But we did like Ravenclaw. She figures out what's happening.
You know what I just remembered about that too? Like and this is like really Ravenclaw to me, she can't like pretend. Once she figures it out,
yes,
like Agatha, like people from other houses, I think, can fake it a lot better and be like, this bitch is crazy.
Yep.
I'm gonna just like
no. She's like I have the
can't.
perfect opportunity to like fix it from the inside.
Right.
So she's like trying. I think Wanda clocks her immediately.
Yeah.
I think the first time she says something that's like not in character, Wanda's like, get out of my house.
No, and Monica's like, see reason. Try to. It's like Stephen Strange. Like, this is ridiculous. You need to like stop this. And Wanda's like, neener. I don't
I'll kill you all. What does she say to Doctor Strange? She's like, this is me being reasonable.
This is reasonable.
Yes. My Delulu is reasonable.
Oh my God, Queen of Delulu. She truly is.
She is.
Yeah, but like Ravenclaws don't have time for that
Delulu
nonsense,
stone.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, and that's a really big attribute of Monica. She's really like no nonsense about shit.
Yeah.
I mean, she'll humor a little bit of Kamala, but I think it's because Kamala's a kid.
Yeah.
Like she's, you know, like, okay.
But she also, and this is the thing too, she talks to Kamala like she's an adult. When she's like explaining the science or whatever,
Yes,
she's
she
just
does.
saying that, and both Carol and Kamala are like, but she's just like, this is what we got to do. And then when they're both like, didn't understand the sciencey words, she like simplifies it for them.
Yeah. It's very, she's very much like one of those Raven, like she really, I don't know how to explain it. Like, maybe I don't want to compare her necessarily to Catherine from The Great, but like a little bit. Do you know what I mean? A little bit like of.
But I don't think she has that tinge of insanity.
No.
She could not.
I'm not accusing Monica of being insane.
Peter the Great.
I'm saying the way that she handles things, where she's like, okay, well then, like, if we can't do A, then we must do B. Like,
right.
And she's not struggling with confidence about it either. She's just like very matter of factly, like, that's not going to work.
I think she and T'Challa would have gotten along really well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're probably close on the. Yeah. Monica maybe slightly further along.
Right. Yeah. But I think
she's
they
a little more emotional.
I think they would have gotten each other really.
Yeah, probably.
Because Steven would be too much from. She'd be like,
oh, forget. I don't know that once you hit a certain point on like Ravenclaw, like mid-right to all the way to the end, none of them could tolerate each other. Like they could not be in the same room at all. Like the lefties probably could figure it out. None of those motherfuckers on the right are at all near each other. Because like, just imagining Steven talking to her. Could be like, what nonsense are you fucking spewing?
A room with like Steven, Jack Sparrow, like Beard,
Homelander,
and Charlie, and Ten, and Homelander, and Rumpelstiltskin. Those are all.
Oh my God. It's so horrible.
They'd all kill each other. They really would.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And Charlie would be the last survivor.
Well, when your system is survival, it's kind of like you just always kind of win.
Game to the system.
You know, the only person who could probably beat him is like Monica from Friends. She's also fucking insane. And she's so clean and he's so filthy. That would be a great battle to the death. Oh my God, that'd be hilarious. Oh well, Ravenclaw House got another one.
Gotta throw Miss Brader in there too. Joyce.
Oh my God. I have to rewatch that soon. It's Christmas time.
Yeah, it's time.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, Ravenclaw got another really good character. They really, you know, as our show has gone on, they've collected some really good fucking people.
Oh yeah.
Like,
they're the least sorted still, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, with good
Your
reason.
house is
it's
fucking insanely ahead of everybody else.
I know.
The fucking media up your ass.
I know. They're like, how do we make this lovable loser? We need a lovable loser.
With daddy issues and self-worth problems. A defining moment in their history. Anyway. Kamala Khan.
Well, speaking of my house, yeah, she's a Gryffindor. So I look, you know, Kamala's my favorite out of the three. I like her family. I liked her show the best out of everything that came out of Disney Plus of the shows. That was my favorite one. And I like her the best. But, sometimes when you like see yourself in something and you're like, oh God. Yeah, like when I was a teenager, that could have been my room, but with what I was hyperfixating on. And that could have been easily how I behaved if one of my heroes was suddenly there and I had like her superpowers and everything. So whatever, I have to accept the cringe.
Whatever.
She
She's
certainly
a teenage
belongs.
Girl,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, she is. But I'm not hating on her at all. I said she's my favorite.
I just remembered this part, which was really funny to me, that she was like, in her imagination was like, she would tell Carol that her name was Miss Marvel, and then they would be like twinsies, and it would like, like she didn't choose it herself. And as she's speaking to Carol is when she has the sudden anxiety where she's like, oh my God, I didn't ask your permission. Is it okay that I took your name? And Carol's like, does not give a shit. And Kamala's like spiraling into like, is it okay? Like, are you okay with it?
Well, it's part of our, it's part of like something that my house does where like we hyperfixate on something specific that nobody else gives a shit about. So it could be your car. It could be like a band. It could be like anything. Oftentimes it's a nickname. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. And she gets like she really wants to like name them. What did she want to call Monica? Professor Marvel?
Professor Marvel. She was giving her a lot of names.
Yeah.
Which is so interesting. Monica didn't end up with the name, but Hannah got the popcorn bucket at the theater that we went to, and it had all of them on it with their superhero names, and they gave her superhero name on the popcorn bucket. So Marvel's
What's
clearly
her superhero name?
So she has a lot in the comics.
Right.
One of them is like Spectrum or I don't know, something like that. They're all light based, but the name on the popcorn bucket was Photon. So I guess that's what they're going with, even though they did not officially give it to her.
Fucking cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Did Kamala come up with that at any point?
Not during the movie. No, not during the movie, because I was waiting. I was waiting to hear
for
it.
my gal.
Yeah, I was waiting to hear it. She said like Lighty Sparkle Fingers or something at one point.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you think back to her show, like things that stick out to me is just like her personality generally is super Gryffindor. She does a lot of like lying and bullshitting to get around her extremely overprotective family, which you have to learn how to do.
Rachel, we were jokingly doing I didn't do anything earlier, but Kamala actually does that the first time that she switches, and then she's back in her family room, and her family's like, "What are you doing? What's happening? Why are you?" And she's like, got the cat that's like spitting out humans. She's like, "I didn't do anything.
It wasn't me. I didn't do this." But I mean, she gets with it and she figures it out, and she does what she has to do there so that they all don't die. I'm sorry, I really can't get over that whole scene, like how that was shot.
It's so good.
Just generally, like
it's so good.
That was really
Go see this
good.
movie. Like, not even kidding. It's a really good movie.
That was really good. That
I say that as a person, not as a woman.
No.
That helps any of you.
Yeah. That helps all of our male listeners for sure. All of them. So many. If they don't like the Marvels, they don't like us. I'll tell you that. Yeah, but Kamala, I mean, I was telling Lauren, it reminds me a little bit of like Rose Tyler and her mom. Mm-hmm. I would put her mother in Gryffindor too.
Yes, I think we did. Like unofficially, we did. Mickey is Gryffindor too. Her mom.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm talking about Kamala's mom too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'd probably throw her in there. Like helicopter parent to the max, like overly obsessed with the kid, and like, I mean, like really worried about her safety. The whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, you would never take Mia. Like she gets into a spaceship with Captain Marvel. Like, arguably, she's going to be I'm sure she's in really safe hands. It would never I would be in that plane. I can't do anything.
Well, her mom went up to her entire family went up to space.
Yeah, totally. It's like I don't know what her brother and father are, but I do think her mom's a Gryffindor gal. So, oh my God, what else with Kamala? I'm trying to think back to her show.
Right,
now.
unfortunately, Rachel and I unfortunately don't remember a lot of details of the show. We weren't able to rewatch.
Well, not like here's the thing. Remember the plot.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. Like we don't remember the details. I remember the broad plot, and I remember her.
The whole thing
like
with her guy friend.
Yeah, they had the love triangle, kind of. I was telling Rachel, like, the whole thing with her as a Gryffindor rather than a Hufflepuff, which is what Rachel was kind of thinking about, was that like she gets these powers, or these powers are activated in her because in the MCU she's a mutant. And like her whole thing is like, now because I have these, it's almost like Spider-Man-ish, although Spider-Man is not a Gryffindor. She's like, now that I have these powers, I have a responsibility to help people. Like, I'm not just going to fuck around with them or like,
right.
be like a Homelander famous type person or whatever. But like, and then that was the thing too, when Nick and Monica show up and they have a whole file on her and they're like, of course we're keeping track of you. Like you are a hero in New Jersey City and you like have these powers or whatever. And she's like, sweet. And she just like wants to read her file. Like,
she also has that thing that like, it seems at least the right-siders in my house have where it's like, don't fucking tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do.
Oh, yeah, when she was on the planet and
heavy.
Carol was like, stay in the spaceship. And she's like, oh, but those people are... And she was mad at Carol for leaving those people behind, remember? That was also very Slytherin, where Carol was like, we have to save who we can save. Like,
yeah, and a very Gryffindor response.
Yes, in a very... yeah, and like, how fucking dare you do that? Like, I wanted to die there with them. Like, you know...
Yeah, brilliant. She's the one who stops Carol from like, I don't remember the exact conflict, but like they're going through... Carol thinks she can do it, like she can get them through, and Monica and Kamala are like, no.
Yeah. So
Kamala's the one who knocks it out. Like,
she doesn't allow it to... they're trying... Monica wants to open the jump point, and they're trying to save the water on Aladdin's planet, and and Carol's like, no, I can do it, I can make it, because, and her thing is that she doesn't want to fail another planet. So it's not like necessarily like I'm the best and I can do it. It's that like I cannot fail another planet. Like I can do this, guys. And Kamala's like, we have to save who we can save. Remember, like you told me that. And she's the one who hits the jump point. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can't let everyone just get fucking massacred, okay? Even though, well, maybe Carol could have done it. I don't know. We'll never know.
I want to fucking know if they gave the water back to that planet. Like I don't know what happened there. They just left it.
Fair question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know.
And we didn't even talk about this too, but the whole thing where the fucking Tom Hiddleston's wife, the bad guy whose name I don't remember, where I think it was Monica. I can't remember if it was Monica or it was Monica that was like, Carol can jumpstart your son. Like, you don't have to take the Earth's son. And then Kamala was the one who was, like, bringing emotion into it and was like, you know, like, yeah. And then so she says, okay, that's fine. And Carol takes the fucking statue off of her or whatever. And then she's like, haha, I'm still going to take your son, blah. and then the fact that they, like, kill her and Carol still goes to jumpstart the son after Monica's gone even. Because she's like, I promised. I said that I would.
Yeah.
All of their houses. That scene was all their houses.
Yeah, it was. Kamala's whole thing, like, we're saying we don't remember, you know, more of the personal details, I guess, from the show. Like, it's hard for me to pull, like, emotional scenes or whatever to prove my point. But I can tell you her overall fucking personality always just is hugely and remains Gryffindor. And you can see how it's a teenage Gryffindor. It's like a young one. You can see that it's manifesting, like, in the way that she quips at people.
She's
the way
very
that she
different from
back.
Cassie Lang still. So, like, Cassie's a left side Gryffindor. I think Kamala is right side.
No, she's fully mellowed out. Like, it's not the same.
That's what you get with a Ravenclaw dad, who is almost, like, on the teetering edge of psychotic. Like, he hides it real well. He hides it real well.
Yeah, he does.
He's just inside his head. Like,
I guess Monica does, too. She hides her crazy pretty well, too. I know it's in there, Monica.
Yeah. They're good at assimilating with normal.
Give her a little power.
Whereas the really crazy Ravenclaws are like, why should I? Doctor Strange is like, I'm better than all of you. It's not crazy.
The way he just tosses America up in the beginning of that movie, he's like, well, I can't make this work. Goodbye. Fucking unhinged house. But yeah, like Kamala is very obviously like it's again, like you could tell even if I couldn't pinpoint the exact house right away, I'm looking at them and I'm like, logic house, emotion house. Kamala is very clearly the one who's supposed to bring in like the
feels,
the deep feels. Yeah. And like, you know, drag a tear out of your eye. Like, I have a very big voice and I feel very big things. And like, you're going to listen to me. And then, you know, somehow they do. Like, she does get listened to. She is a smart girl. No teenage girl slander here. Like, the fangirl thing is complete. I'm in my 30s and I'm still a fangirl.
God, yes.
Like, I don't think that's ever going away. Like, the way I am about Taylor Swift right now is never ending.
Like, yeah, and I love that they were like so like we talked about Carol already, who was like very accepting of it and like didn't make fun of her for it or like exploit it in any way. But Monica was like that too when they were on the singing planet and Carol was a princess. Monica was like, how much Captain Marvel fanfic are you going to get out of this? Yeah. Kamala was like, so much.
Yeah, that's one of those things where I was like, okay, me. No, stop it. Oh my gosh. She's very funny. Man, I'm gonna rewatch that show. I really enjoyed it. That and WandaVision were my two favorites
again too.
It was really fucking good.
It was good. Yeah.
I'll definitely watch it when it comes out on Disney Plus.
Oh God,
for sure will.
Oh God, yeah.
Man, it's been a good year for girls.
It has been such a good year.
We got The Little Mermaid.
Do more.
We got Barbie. We got Taylor.
So
like,
good.
damn. Man, we've never sorted The Little Mermaid, even in private discussions, but I know what they are in that movie.
We haven't. Interesting that we haven't. Maybe
I know, it's weird that we never talked about it.
Maybe we should do it.
Prince Eric's coming on Doctor Who, so
we'll certainly watch him again. So
he's very cute little British man. Well, I think that about wraps it, though. That was a really fun movie, and like, do we have anything else that's really feminine centric coming out to close the year with? Is there any like? I know there's a Christmas movie coming out with Melissa McCarthy being a genie. Maybe I'll throw that in there as a win.
I don't know what the hell that is.
It looks funny.
I haven't seen.
Yeah. So
what?
Hopefully we can get fucking don't fuck it up again. Like we got the Fun Gay Christmas movie with Kristen Stewart, and we all thought it was going to be amazing, and then everyone hated her love interest, and we were like, be with Aubrey Plaza.
They were both awful.
Well, Kristen Stewart was less awful.
Yes, that's true. But they were both. But her love interest was really bad, and the movie
really
was like
pissed me off
with the abusive. Yeah, what the fuck?
I would never forget. Like me and George actively rooting against the couple you're supposed to root for,
right?
And then getting on Twitter and realizing everyone felt exactly the same way as me. They were all like, "Fuck that girl." That was so funny. So I mean, I'm hoping for like some more gal fun to close out 2023 because it's been such a good year for us. Like, so fucking good. My favorite thing is when, like, I'm online, because I'm chronically online, and someone says something out of pocket, and people are like, in the year of Barbie. You say that in the year of Barbie?
Yeah.
Like, and it's so true! Be better than that! So, I've been enjoying myself this year. Hopefully we can close it out with some good shit.
Good year.
Yeah.
I think
it was.
Depending on schedules, what we're tentatively planning right now is that we'll do the second part of our Flag Means Death with Meg and Carla, but it's the end of the year. This was kind of last second. All of our schedules are very busy. So if that's not what you hear, don't blame me.
Love made me crazy.
For what you made me do. So we don't really know what's going to happen next. But that's tentative. Otherwise, you'll be hearing some Christmas.
It's so much more fun when you don't know.
Or women-centric shit, because we're woke as hell.
Yay! No more men! No more men!
Travis Kelce can
had
be here.
Enough of them. Yeah, I love him, guys!
Because of the squirrels. The squirrelies.
Schmackin'.
Did you see his Easter tweet?
Schmackin'.
From
No.
2010?
No. Oh my God. What did he say?
Wait, hang on. I would find it exactly.
I can't fucking take this dude, man. I can't. My favorite was like, went to Olive Garden with Papa, was schmacking.
Hashtag crazy.
Taylor's like, I've had enough of men who think. I've had enough of it.
No, I can't find it. I literally just saw it. It was something like, haha, happy Easter, guys. Jesus was a real one putting it up for us or something like that. It was something like, he was like, Jesus really took one for the team there.
Oh my God.
The fact that he's so serious about it is what's really getting me.
The way he spelled Chipotle and then committed to it. Like Chipotle, and he never corrected it.
Did you see his lesbian tweet?
No, what?
He was trying to say like, let's be real here, but he wrote he was trying to make it sound like if you read it, it was let's be real here, okay? So like really fast, let's be real here.
Sure.
But he wrote it like LESBE with no spaces. LESBERELEAN. So it was like let's be realian.
Listen, I don't want anyone looking at what I wrote 12, 13 years ago. It was probably very similar. Saw a fat squirrel today. I fed it some fucking bread. Shit was real. Like, it was probably very similar. I hope that they, stay together forever. I fucking love them. So I actually think it's weird to not talk about how culturally significant they are right now. And like the kiss and the lyric change and all the things that I've been obsessively on top of the last 2 days. Like everyone else is talking about it. We should talk about it too. So here I am talking about it. It was awesome. I'm really happy for her. She's so loud about it. I love that.
She usually is.
She's like, Joe didn't let her. He didn't let her be jeweled.
I think she enjoyed that at the beginning, and then she was like, yeah
she
bro.
got over it like halfway through. She was like, all right, come on, man. I'm really famous. Like, I really like being famous.
They love me
again. You just see Megan Fox. There was someone asked her, I think it was Drew Barrymore, was like, no, it wasn't Drew Barrymore, but someone was like, wouldn't it be easier, like, if you weren't famous sometimes? Like, would you just, like, rather not be sometimes? Mm-hmm. She really thought about it, and she's like, no. I really like it, actually. I feel like Taylor's the exact same way. Like, I'd rather have this, thanks. I'm good. Love. Well, good for her. Good for her. I'm very happy. All right. That had nothing to do with sorting, unless you want to talk about what a big Slytherin she is, which I could do forever.
Uh-oh.
I don't care. Travis Kelce's Gryffindor. Here. I don't care.
I think the first time they heard us talking about sorting the songs was like 5 months ago.
Yeah.
And we're still
we only have like 3 or 4 albums to finish. We just gotta do it.
We have 4 albums left. Yeah.
Before you know it, Karma's gonna come out, TS11, and then we're gonna have to sort 5.
Shut up.
Her nail color on her pinky and her ring on her. I love conspiracy theories. All right. Well,
my only like logical problem with that theory at this point, like she could totally, is that they've been talking about it for so long that those songs would be from like 3 or 4 years ago. She would never release them. She lives in eras, you know?
Yes, she does. An excellent point. Also, she's not naming the fucking album Karma when the song Karma just came out on May. She's not doing that. She's not doing it. You're all wrong. But a new album might be coming, but it's not that one.
Oh, I'm sure that it is.
The vault is fucking chock full of shit she could just pull from and say she wrote yesterday. Who cares? She probably does it all the time. I love her for it. She's a known liar and cheater. I love her dearly. Do it more. All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Keep supporting women and
yes. By listening
join
to our
us
podcast.
in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then listen to this one again. It was good. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Sort of Brilliant. If our sorting choices inspired any rage or excitement, we'd love to hear from you. We're open to feedback, suggestions for characters to sort, and solid counter-arguments with citations.
Never forget your citations. You can find us hanging out on Twitter and Instagram at SOB_pod or shoot us an email at sortofbrilliant@gmail.com.
And since we're not above begging, please rate and subscribe to Sort of Brilliant on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. Please share our posts on social media. And if you're a Gryffindor, maybe you'll inspire sorting fights among your own friend group.
The theme music is Hot Shot by Scott Holmes. Can't wait to sort with you again next time. Bye!